ya kwamba DCI wa taifa la Kenya, Director of Criminal Investigation, tayari amefungua faili ya uchunguzi kujua kwamba ni watu hawa ni wagani, walifanya makosa gani, na waliumiza watu gani, na kwa nini walikuwa pale, ili wachukuliwe hatua ya sheria. Mwisho watakapomaliza, ule DPP atapelekewa file na hawa watachukuliwa hatua ya kisheria. Mimi nataka kuwaomba Wakenya, kuliko tu kusema kwa mdomo, mtu yoyote mwenye ako na habari aende kwa DCI office karibu, apeane habari hiyo.
Okay, so using goonism, rogue police officers as a response to political competition, will it stop after the president's marching orders? Is there goodwill to deal with this issue before we slide into anarchy?
It will not stop because William Ruto is being deceptive. The challenge of Kenya is not goons. It's rogue police officers under Murkomen. The way to stop lawlessness is to sack Murkomen because he is the cause. These are police officers who are there. They are under him. These are police officers who are there. They are under him. So he is asking us to give him what information. Instead of arresting them, they will swat. So you are just transferring a problem.
So NPS is not independent.
In the prosecution of 12 police officers, 2 members of Petty Minor. William Ruto stopped that prosecution. Of Communications Authority, who wants to oppose Dede Nyoro in Kiharu. The other one was under Dennis Itumbe. The other group was under Betty Minor and Eric Wamombi. These officers are known by name. Their photographs are there. The videos are there. So Murkomen is asking people to report what? When William says that it has been agreed we stop lawlessness, he is a problem because the man he has appointed as CS Interior is the one who fed these goons. He is the one who was funding the police officers in Olokalao. They were staying in a hotel called Royal Garden. He is the one who was paying the bills. They had Prados documented.
Yes, yes.
So these 2 men, William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen, thinks Kenyans are fools. You know the way William Ruto deceived the people of Kenya in 2022? He still thinks Kenyans are there. He used to say that there is a shortage of fools in the country. I want to remind him, there are no fools in this country. The problem of insecurity in this country is being caused by government itself. And even goons have become very embodied because they work hand in hand with the police. In Olokalao, we had police goons who had arms, and we had the ordinary goons. The ordinary goons were being protected by the police, and were all working together. The only problem that is there, and William Ruto must know, and Murkomen, when you grow criminal gangs, you like in Haiti. Because these goons you brought in Olokalao for the by-election, now that it is over, you paid them for those days, they must continue eating. That is why you saw goons stop vehicles on Thika Road for 2 hours and steal from people valuables. Because they have been working, it's 100 meters. Muthaiga police station is 80 meters for 2 hours. They terrorized motorists and the people of Kenya, and there was no police response. In Wetima, where we were attacked, we were rogue police officers for 2 hours, and police did not come. The other day, some investors were there at Carnival. They were attacked by goons. Their jewelry was stolen. Their watches were stolen. They lost their money and their phones. Police did not even show up. So when William Murkomen say that they must bring an end to this goonism, the only way we can believe them, one, they must arrest the people who attacked Mweki PCA Church, take them to court. Arrest the police officers and the 2 members of parliament who attacked Wetima, take them to court. They must arrest the members of parliament who were in Olokalao, Dennis Itumbe, Charles Karondo, the police officers and the goons, because Murkomen knows them. He is the one who paid them. He is the one who organized it. So telling us about DCI, that DCI is a joke. I have seen a letter when Albert Ojwang died in Central Police Station. DCI saying that he knocked his head against the wall. You have seen the CCTV footage. He was killed by policemen. Does this DCI have any credibility? Can anybody depend on police working with the goons to terrorize the people of Kenya? That's why I'm saying, as I wind up, if this Kipchumba Murkomen will be the CS Interior, if Raymond Omolo will be the PS Interior, he's the one who has been organizing goons in Kisumu and Kakamega. They have divided. Kipchumba Murkomen is in charge of goons for Nairobi and the mountain, where they are having resistance. These goons are sent to areas where William Ruto is being resisted. Raymond Omolo has goons to deal with Nyanza and Western to deal with leader Mwananchi Sifuna and group. And the goons in Nairobi and the mountain, they are supposed to deal with Gachagua and DCP. If this Murkomen is the one who will be in office, there will be anarchy in this country. Because what will happen, Rogers, and rightly so, people will not accept a stolen election. People will not allow William Ruto to come back to power through fraud and through an election. The people of Kenya will say no to intimidation. They will say no to goonism. They will say no to police brutality. And the people of Okalau have shown that a determined population can withstand police with guns, with grenades, and that is what will happen. So it's upon William Ruto. The remaining time, he can do nothing about the economy. The economy has gone to the dogs. The education sector has crumbled. The health sector has crumbled. Nothing is working in the country. One thing he can do for the people of Kenya, because they made him president, much as they are through with him and they want him to be one term and he'll be one term, there is one thing he can do to this country. Secure this country. I heard him today complaining about Khartoum. Oh, Khartoum was a very good town, now it's in ruins. That's the route you are driving your country. How can he talk about Khartoum, that it is in ruins? He is setting the stage for Khartoum. Because, Rogers, once people lose trust in the National Police Service, the men and women entrusted to protect them, once people lose trust in the capacity of government to protect them, once people conclude that the government is the one killing them, the government is the one persecuting them, people will take up arms and defend themselves. Because
you know,
it is
such a scenario, Mr. Gachagua.
But it's not me. It's not me. The honors is on William Ruto, because when he became president, I was there with him. He took the Bible and sought to uphold the Constitution. He sought to defend life and property. But he has decided to kill Kenyans. He has decided to injure Kenyans. He has decided to fight the very people who elected him, especially the people of Olakalau, the people of this mountain. They are actually very bitter because they are very bitter because they elected him. They elected him to protect them. They elected him to bring prosperity. They elected him to bring sanity in their lives. They elected him to make the economy better. But they feel so betrayed. They are so bitter. They are so angry that instead of protecting them, he has actually decided to harm them, to kill them, to make life impossible for them, to touch their property, to send policemen with guns to kill them. Why on earth would a policeman on duty be hooded? Because they don't want people to know them. Why would a policeman go with an unmarked car? And we are asking, Murkomen thinks Kenyans are very stupid. He is saying that we need to know who are those people, what were they doing there. There were 2,000 policemen. There was 4 platoons of GSU. There was 4 platoons of unstock theft unit. If it was normal crime, they would have stopped it. But they didn't stop it because they had instructions to let those police goons do what they had come to do.
Okay, your point is across, and you've been on record previously mentioning about, is it 101 trained police officers?
Yes.
Is this the same unit?
No, the 101 police officers was trained specifically for abductions and extrajudicial killings. They are the ones who abducted and killed the agencies, and they were all from the administration police, trained to kill, to abduct, and to conceal and attach the National Intelligence Service. That is a different group. This one that is attacking people and churches, that is a group by Murkomen. That is a special group by Murkomen to deal with the politics. Murkomen brief by William Ruto is to make sure he is re-elected through goonism and violence, and to suppress anybody who has a different opinion and who does not support William Ruto.
What does that say about the National Police Service? Who's the puppeteer? Because it seems it's been captured, that it's supposed to be independent.
The IG is a flower girl. He's very frustrated. He told a friend of mine that he could even resign because he does not know what goes on in the National Police Service. He deployed people, and he did a good thing. But I warned him. I said, I don't think you know the instructions. He deployed 12, 16 police officers in every polling station. Yeah? 2 inside and 14 outside. He did his job. He deployed GSU just in case there is problem. He deployed ESTU just in case there is problem. He brought water cannons. But Murkomen sent another group that overpowered what IG had deployed. And they were told not to interfere with the activities. He's a very helpless man. He's a man from my village. And I have told him to consider resigning because he will be the most disgraced head of police since independence. That the police he heads has become a goon police. Goons are part of the National Police Service. They go in the same vehicles. He is the head of police that attacks citizens. I mean, it must be a very painful thing to Douglas Kanja, if he has any conscience, that Douglas Kanja has a fake degree. So the president holds him hostage. And I think what he wants within the National Police Service, and then Kanja can be blamed. That is exactly what is happening.
Okay.
You know? And Kanja is helpless because I don't think if he resigns, the president will go for him. I think you just have to stay there, allow Murkomen and Omolo do crazy things within the National Police Service, kill Kenyans, injure them, try to steal the election, and then the blame is taken to IG Kanja. It's going on. But it's going on.
Yes.
You know, this is public information.
True.
It's actually in the National Police Service. Is that Kipchumba Murkomen is running the National Police through Eliud Langat outside the command of the IG. But the IG, because he is held by William Ruto because he has a fake degree, he cannot talk, he cannot say anything. He's a man in agony. He's a man in...
The General's office developing a bill that is seeking to regulate peaceful demonstrations following that Kisumu court landmark ruling that tasked government to develop, publish clear legal operational regulations governing public assemblies. Are we over-legislating despite the problem being police and non-compliance to the rule of law?
All those things will be thrown out by the court because they go against the Bill of Rights. You know, any legislation that is inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void to the extent of that inconsistency. The 2010 Constitution has the best Bill of Rights, and the right to picket is there in the Constitution. There is no way we can suppress the right to picket. In fact, we don't have a problem. You know, I heard the president saying, oh, the problem, people are arrested, they are released by the courts. The people who attacked Wetima have not been arrested and taken to court. So, Mr. President, what are you complaining about? The people who are at the courts. The issue is the infiltration of the National Police Service by William Ruto and Kipchumba Murkomen to quell dissent and to suppress freedoms and to kill democracy. I think that is our challenge. Our challenge is that William Ruto has decided to use the criminal justice system to deal with his opponents, to make sure that they have no space, and to force what he wants to the people of Kenya using the National Police Service. But when I listened to the police this afternoon, I'm a very happy Kenyan. The police have told me they will not bugger the election, and they will not take illegal orders. They will do what is right. The beauty about a general election, Rogers, it's not like a by-election. You know, by-election, you can send 2,000 police officers to one station. You can send a rogue police unit. We have more than 50,000 polling stations in Kenya. Each polling center needs 2 policemen. They are not enough. You have to add the prisons. You have to uncade. There will be no policemen to cause chaos in the general election. Even goons will be in their home, voting and defending whoever has paid them. Every goon will go to his place. There will be no, you know why Olkalau was stifled? It was the only election. All goons from the country were taken to Olkalau. All rogue police officers were in Olkalau. All members of Party 1 were in Olkalau. But during the general election, Betty Minor, who has been causing chaos in the region, will be struggling to be re-elected in Murang'a. She will be fighting for her life. Eric Wamumbi will be in Madera. Kimani Ichung'wah will be in Kikuyu. Kila mtu atakuwa kwao. William Ruto will be struggling to see how he can be re-elected. He will not be available to assist anybody. All these ministers and PSs were in Olkalau. Kila mtu atakuwa kwao. What I'm happy about, officers who are in uniform were very professional. Kenyans, they are attacking voters. So my own comfort as a Kenyan, when I talk to the police, will observe the rule of law. 95% commanders will give the right instructions. 95% of the National Police Service, the rank and file, will disobey illegal orders. I can tell you. And since William Ruto will be going home, and you know these policemen also live in this country, you know it's not that they are strangers, they are also listening to the ground because they stay there in the police post, they stay there in the police station. They also know, the police are telling us, they also know there will be change. So I don't think on the last day of Ruto's presidency, any police officer who is aware of what the ground is saying will agree to suppress the will of the people, will agree to take illegal orders to try to preserve a president whose fate has been decided by the voters. To me, when I saw the clerks are good, when I saw the POs are good, when I saw the returning officer is good, when now I have reason to believe the policemen will keep law and order, I trust we'll have a good election, and any attempt by William Ruto to cause violence will be resisted by the people of Kenya. Any attempt by William Ruto and his people to try to steal the election will be resisted by the people of Kenya. I'm so persuaded.
Gachagua, now that you've told us that police is not beyond reproach, your critics say that perhaps it's now that the shoe is on the other foot that you're calling them out. They'll take you back to photos you used to post during the late Raila Odinga-led demonstrations right after the general election. And I'm pretty sure you remember the captions to ensure that peace and tranquility is of utmost importance even while these protests were happening. Lives were lost during that particular protest. Did you use the police service personally?
No. And when I was in office,
yes,
we never sent police goons to attack the people of Kenya. The police were there fighting with the demonstrators, but there were no policemen sent specifically to fight the people of Kenya, you know, as far as I know.
So
you know,
who were they fighting, if not the people? Because lives were lost, sir.
Well,
in the police brutality.
In demonstrations, lives were lost, and it's very regrettable. And you are aware, probably you know, that one of the things that made me and William Ruto differ was the killing of the Gen Zs. If you remember, during the 25th protests when Gen Zs were killed, and William Ruto issued a press conference and called them criminals and treasoners. The following day I called a press conference, I said they are not criminals,
yes,
they are our sons and daughters. My record is clean in matters human rights, in matters the rule of law. I have been, you know, I was a security officer myself. I'm a trained paramilitary officer. I have served in the security sector the better part of my younger life, and I really believe in the rule of law. That's why I'm very irritated and actually very, very offended that people trained to protect life and property can take away life.
Gachagua, we have 1 minute.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this issue of goonism, because at the end of the day, there are those rogue police officers, but we have disenfranchised youth who have been excluded from decision-making tables and hence are taken advantage by politicians to cause mayhem or to attack their competitors. At the end of the day, how do we deal with goonism with finality from where you sit?
Let me say that goonism in itself is not a very serious challenge. No goons can sustain attacks on people. because people will say no. Why goons have become a problem in this country is because they are working hand in hand with the police. So they give them cover, so that when the goons are overpowered by wananchi, the police open fire. You know? I went to Gatundu for a church, and Moses Kuria sent goons to attack me. They were dealt with by the people, but police came to rescue them. So it makes the goons to become very embodied. You know? If police decided there is no goonism, even if politicians hire goons, it will be very short-lived, because it will not be allowed. I don't think wananchi will allow goons to create mayhem, because people will defend themselves. And goons who are not armed with the guns cannot be a threat to people for a longer time. So if the police decided, if the president decided today to abandon goonism, to remove Murkomen from office and get somebody sober, and if he really wants his tribesmen, he has many people who are good, people with proven track record, people of good credibility, and people who have served this country with distinction, among the Nandis, among the Psigis, among the Marakwets, among the Tugans. You know, if he wants another Marakwet like Murkomen, they are there, and we know them. Once if the president makes the decision, because the buck stops with him. Murkomen, all these things doing, he cannot do it without William Ruto. Because William Ruto can see there is a problem. When people are shooting on top of a Prado, like in a movie, it was like a movie. Even Ruto has seen those videos, you know, and there is no war, and the people are not armed. These are innocent voters. And then police with rifles on top of Prados, moving at a terrific speed, shooting everywhere. And William Ruto is trying to pretend that there is no problem. Okay. You know, he's pretending there is no problem, saying that the problem is courts. Oh, when people are arrested, but nobody has been arrested. All these people who caused this mayhem on Onkalao, they are still free. In Wetima, they are still free. So what we are saying is, the first step to deal with goonism is to rein in Kipchumba Murkomen and Raymond Omolo. The second step is William Ruto to allow the National Police Service to operate independently and return the command to the IG and ask him to follow the Constitution, to follow the police orders, and to follow the Penal Code, the Criminal Procedure Code, the Evidence Act, the three documents that guide the police operations. If William Ruto today decided, the buck stops with him, by the way. It's all about William Ruto. Even this Murkomen, it's not him. He is just an appendage of William Ruto. William Ruto is using him. The decision to end goonism, and it's not by issuing a statement in State House. That was the fifth statement in 1 year. He has said, oh, goons must be dealt with. They continue. Oh, goons must. And everybody knows, in fact, the police are saying he is a problem, because the senior police officers are saying, can we get back the command of the National Police Service to the Inspector General?
And if that happens, we'll be able to fight, which rarely happens.
Yeah, it will be done.
Okay.
Like Murkomen has been trying to say that we are the ones who have the goons. We would have been arrested a long time ago if these goons were from the opposition. We would be in prison.
So you don't have goons?
I cannot have, because if I had, they would be in prison. Why the goons are there is because the government. That is why nobody can touch them. That is why nobody can arrest them.
We have the bills to pay. Top of the hour news is coming up next. But this conversation getting started, as they say. A lot more to talk about. In 36th day, is there white smoke? But equally, what's there?